Hey, what's up? Happy Saturday night. How y'all been? This is KLA Club and Wanderer. About to give you once again. I have a special guest. He's the creator of Diva Soul Comics. Why don't you introduce yourself, sir?
My name is Juwan Buchanan, and I am the founder and CEO of Divasoul Comics. Um, we are pretty much a brand new company. We just started in December, so yeah, we haven't really been on the scene that long. Um,
Okay.
yeah, and we pretty much specializes in doing like pinups and doing stories about African, about African mythology, and yeah, stuff like that.
Uh, so you just started out like in December?
Yeah, and we're pretty much a
Oh,
brand new company, but we working on our first big major project based on African
okay.
mythology right now. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So you didn't really complete anything right now.
Oh no, not yet, but we are pretty much working
Oh,
on it
okay.
though with me and my team.
All right. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I could show some drawings.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah, she caught my eye with that. That caught my eye. I liked it. I like that one.
Yeah.
Who is she?
Um. Well, the first major project that we are doing is based on African mythology. Her name is her name is Sia. It's kind of it's pronounced African, but her name I would say her name is Sia for short. So
Yeah.
basically, the story that we are doing is based on the West African mythology story based on the Ghana Empire, the Kingdom of Uganda,
Okay.
and
All right.
they were a very powerful empire that was at least around as far back as the third century, but they fell apart sometime during the well, it really depends on who you ask, because a lot of archaeology would say they fell apart around the 11th century, the 12th century, 13th century. It really depends on who you ask, but
Right.
yeah, something like that. And and I believe the descendants of that empire was called Shinokian people, I believe. Yeah, and today they pretty much reside in modern day Mali. Yeah.
Okay. What inspired you to do this?
Oh, it was a pretty much a whole barrier of factors. Well, I kind of always have been in the comic books over the years, and
Right.
yeah, I kind of started really getting to comics sometime around I say 2020. Yeah, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And the reason why I wanted to do a story like this because I always have been reading comics, and I always wanted to read stories about about African mythology, monsters and African gods and stuff like that. But in the mainstream media, like Hollywood and stuff like that, we don't get too many of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Other representations
Right.
stuff like that. So I said, you know what? So I sat down with a couple of my friends for it. They said, you know what? Don't get me wrong. The superhero stuff like Black Panther, it's all cool and all, but I want to see something more focused on African mythology. You know what I'm saying? Because Africa, so we got so many rich stories based in Africa, but we don't see a lot of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Part in our culture. You know what I'm saying? We always see
Right.
Greek mythology, um, Norse mythology, stuff like that, but never not too much African stuff. So it kind of,
Right.
saying, I want to do a story based on African mythology. So I got together with a couple of my friends, and we decided to, get together and create this company. It was called Divasoul Comics. And
Right.
I decided to do a hiring process. And I got me a team that's doing this stuff with me. A few of them has worked at Marvel, which is cool. So they're working on me
Okay.
about on this project. So yeah, and we're kind of working on it right now. Right now we into the development process. I'm writing the script for it, so I'm the writer of this, of this particular series. So
Right.
hopefully, what I'm saying, if this series take off, we can have it eventually on store shelves. Yeah, yeah. And if things go
Yeah.
good from here, we'll do things like animations and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because I think the people love it.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see it. I mean, it's in a good direction. I mean, yeah.
Mhm.
So she's a warrior. She's a
Uh,
warrior type.
well, according to well, actually, tell you the truth, this is pretty much based on a real myth, on a West African myth. So pretty much, she
Okay.
was pretty much a seer. She's pretty much, well, according to the West African Ghanaian legend, she pretty much is a virgin, is a very beautiful virgin girl, right?
Oh,
That
okay.
lived right during the empire, during the time when the Ghanaian Empire was at its highest, because during that time period around the third century, it was the most powerful empire in all Africa around the time period. Right, and they used to call them the land of gold. Yeah, it was amazing that all the research I did on this kingdom. Nobody really knows what Ghana really is, so I kind of want to do a story on that. And according to
Yeah.
the legend, she pretty much was the most beautiful girl in West Africa during that time period. Uh-huh. And and according to the legend, she's supposed to be a sacrifice to the deity that resides in that kingdom. It's pretty much like a
Mm,
like a giant snake, the serpent.
mm. Oh
Yeah, all
wow.
kind of
Okay.
cool stuff. But yeah,
Oh,
so pretty much the main character of the story is named Monty. He pretty much was a warrior in the empire during
right.
that time period. So according to the legend, that was her fiance, and every year the snake deity of that region, I think his name was called Vanti, I think believe it was. Yeah, he pretty much requests pretty much every year a virgin girl be sacrificed to him in exchange for the prosperity of that kingdom. So
Right.
yeah, so during this time period, she's supposed to be a sacrifice to the deity. But Mani, so he pretty much is a African hero, pretty much, and he was not going to let that happen. So, according to legend, he decided to go on his quest to save his beloved from the deity. So, yeah, it's a
Right.
really cool story to legend. I mean, it's pretty much out there right now if you want to do your research on it, because you know what I'm saying. It's
Right.
out there. Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
and we pretty. Mhm.
You, no, go ahead. You can go ahead.
And yeah, we're pretty much just doing well, I don't want to say a retelling of that legend. We pretty much just doing a story inspired by it, but pretty much go tell the tale pretty much what the legend was. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, yeah. I've been interviewing a lot of. Well, yeah, I've been interviewing like other comic creators, and they're like at that same route that you're doing. Like it was one like not too long ago, like somebody was telling me about they did research on African mythologies and stuff, and yeah, like for several, if I could say that, yeah, like since I've been like that's my fault. Sorry, I'm lying. It's been a several, like been going to checking out doing research on African mythologies and stuff. There was one guy he was inspired to do this girl that she's like a demon eater and stuff like that. And
yeah,
so
yeah. I
one of
heard that.
the demons he
Hmm.
seen through a mythology he sees like a lust demon or something like that. And yeah, and another brother he was talking about like certain like superheroes. He like kind of dig a little deep with the African mythologies and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I mean like yeah, so I have like several like interviews with like black creators and artists and writers about African mythologies and stuff. So yeah,
I
that's
mean, yeah.
very interesting.
Right now, because the way that the marketplace is going right now, a lot of people want these kind of stories. You know what I'm saying? They crave the
Right.
African
Yeah.
mythology, African futurism, and stuff like that. So yeah, so it's
Right.
pretty, yeah. Because Hollywood right now, they're not really jumping on. They're not really jumping on that. So it's pretty much
Yeah.
just on us to really, do the load for them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty
And
kind.
then to pinpoint on what you said about Black Panther, a white person created that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I was Stan Lee and some other dude. He created that. So I mean,
Mhm.
much respect to them, but like few of them, like a couple of them, like Black Lightning was created by a white guy because
Yeah.
he wanted black superhero type thing. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like I would say like since I've been seeing I've been coming across like black creators on Instagram. It kind of reminded me of that '90s comic book. What's the name of that? Oh my God, I forgot. With the Static Shock and other superheroes and stuff. I forgot the name of it. It's not in my head. But yeah, that's what reminded me of that. So yeah, it's very interesting. So
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's pretty much the right time right now. Cause I believe that there is another brother. I believe his name. You probably know who he is, but like I think the guy from Black Sands Entertainment. You heard of him?
Black Hole,
Black Sands Entertainment. I believe like he's another black indie. He's like he's a guy that pretty much
I think
specializes.
so.
Yeah, like, yeah, he's pretty much doing Egyptian mythology, but yeah, he's a very popular brother right now, and yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm
right
just
now, yeah,
yeah, I'm just learning about these dudes.
yeah,
One lady I interviewed, she kind of like did something about this girl from space and a black chick in space and stuff like that. And it kind of
mhm,
reminded me from the Shared Empire from X-Men a little bit. It's called Firebird, and she got fired. She got like if she touches somebody, somebody gets burned and all that stuff. And yeah, it's a cosmic superhero type of thing. Yeah,
okay,
that is cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
it sounds
So like
interesting.
so but so you always wanted to do writing for comic books?
Yeah, I always wanted to be a writer for comic books. I wanted to be a writer for DC at 1.2, but I was like, do I really want to do this? Like, I feel like I do a lot better if I just create my own company and just write my own books and what I'm saying, and my company get big enough, publish other people's stuff. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because right here in Detroit, Michigan, the market is pretty good right now for any comic books right now. So yeah, I'm in the right place. It's the right time to do it. So I said, why not do it? Hey, do it. So yeah, but it's pretty much a passion because comics is a hard business. It really is. So you gotta have a
Yeah.
passion for doing this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I know of one guy. He's from Detroit. He's called Mr. Cliff Note. He created a comic book and stuff. Yeah. He's a rapper, and he wanted to do something about hip hop and stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah. Basically, his stuff is about him like going against like the powers to be and stuff because it's like they're promoting demonic music.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. 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 Gotcha.
yeah. I caught. Yeah, I could show some more pictures.
Sure.
Yeah, she was very interesting to look at. Like,
Yeah.
who's your artist? Like, who
Um.
who who?
Well, pretty much one of my artists is pretty much he's a I believe he's was actually a studio really. It's actually a studio because I'm actually working with studios, working a few hours for Marvel, DC, a few Black Brothers here and there. But the pretty much the people that's helping me create this comic pretty much a studio.
Oh,
Yeah.
how you got connected with these artists?
Whew. It's pretty much like I pretty much had to find them. To be honest with you, I had to go around. I had to find them. I pretty much had to
Oh
connect
yeah.
myself to other people that actually knew a couple of artists. Cause I have a couple of friends. I know a couple of artists around the industry. So I was fortunate enough to talk to them. They hooked me up with a few of these artists, and things just took off from there. But I can draw a little
Oh,
bit, but you know what I'm saying. But I pretty much focus on pretty much creating a company and writing, so I can't really do a whole lot of art. So I just kind of just let my other artists I
right,
hire do the work for me, and it's pretty much going out good so
right.
far. And
Oh,
hopefully
that's good.
by the summertime we'll have our first trailer up because we are doing a trailer for this. And a
Right,
cover, and we go kickstart it. And it's a process, but hey, it takes time.
right. So
Hmm.
you completed the script?
I'm currently writing the script. It's like in its final stages now, because you know what I'm saying. Yeah,
Oh,
it's gotta be perfect. But yeah.
How was that for you? If you can kind of describe it to
Say that
to the
again.
audience. Now, how was that? Like the process of just writing the story and executing it, and you know,
Whew, the process. Well, if I was to best describe it, that, you know what I'm saying, you pretty much always want to make sure that your script is top notch the way they want it to. Because, you know what I'm saying, always the first draft, the second draft, the third draft, like, okay, like, oh, like, okay, oh, this sounds good, but does this sound right? Does this fit right? Does it go right? It's a tough process, but you know what I'm saying, because I pretty much just started learning how to write around 2020, so I've been doing this that long. But you know what I'm saying,
oh, okay,
I've been doing a few small stories, short stories here and there. It's pretty much like my first big project. But yeah, I got me a couple artists that kind of like wrote before, so they kind of helped me out with this. But yeah, so far so good. But you know what I'm saying, I'm currently on the final draft now because I pretty much had to do a few little minor checks in here to make sure everything flows together. Because creating a script it's a skill set. It takes a skill set. It's not just something you can like just I go write this out. No, it takes a lot of skill because you have to make sure that everything flows organically together. Because once you start putting that stuff on pencil and paper and start drawing and writing, it's a yeah.
yeah, yeah. Like, was you always like, did you always have a feel for writing, or you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I had a feel for writing ever since I was in middle school, to be honest with you. But I just never really, took it as a career path into recently. If that makes any sense. Yeah.
What made you kind of like? What made you? What made you hit that light bulb and just like, you know what? I wanna write a comic book.
Well, what made me want to write a comic book because, well, I read comics a lot, but you know what I'm saying. But my first big kickstart into actually creating a company because, well, it pretty much for like female superheroes, right? Storm.
Right,
Because the one thing I noticed that when I was always reading comics as I got older, there's never has really been a lot of female superheroes. It's just especially the strong and sexy ones. I mean, the only ones that we
right.
know of that is maybe okay, Storm, maybe Bumblebee, Veterans, but aside from those three, I mean, who else is there? It's not that many.
A Vixen. I think Vixen, Nubia from
Yeah,
Wonder Woman, the Black Wonder Woman.
yeah, I
Yeah,
believe.
but it
But
ain't that much. It
there ain't
ain't
really
that
that
much
many,
though.
right? And that's pretty much one of the big major factors into why I wanted to make Divasoul comics in the first place. Because one thing that we specialize in hard, we want comics with black leads, especially heroines. Right, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Oh, that's why you
Especially
call
heroines.
it
That's very important.
Divas. That's why you call it Diva Soul Comics.
Yeah, that's the reason why. Because most of our stories is specializing in pretty much creating black African mythology based on female heroines and heroes of the past, like queens, because Africa had a lot of queens as well. So we want to eventually create stories based on African queens, stuff like that, and maybe occasionally a male, African, king here and there, because we want to create like a big universe. Yeah, full of African kings and
Yes.
queens and tell their stories and yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah,
And
that's
yeah,
interesting.
and
That's
African
interesting.
gods and monsters and the whole works.
I remember like they used to have like there was a comic book. They would have like stories of Black Americans or Black people. I would say, like, I think whether it was in slavery or something like that. It was like in comic books. This was when I was a kid, and I remember that. But there was a comic book like I think like in the 40s or something like that, and it was called Lion Man. He had powers. He was like the original Black Panther, if you would say.
Really?
And he was going against, yeah, he was going to, you could Google it. He was going against like the white people that was like invading Africa. And so,
Hmm.
the guy that created it, he was like the editor of a newspaper, And the reason why it didn't like go any further because the white people at that time, the white, I think the authority, comic book authority, whatever, the people, the white people that, that was in charge over him, they didn't like it, the fact
Yeah,
that, you
yeah,
know,
mm.
that he was going against like white people and beating them up and all that stuff. So that's
Yeah.
why I don't exist no more.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I never
Yeah, I
heard of that
remember.
character until you told me, but yeah, that sounds pretty interesting. I gotta look his
Yeah,
character up a little bit later on. What you said. Hmm.
yeah. I heard that like somewhere in Instagram, like the black guy. He talks about black superheroes. I don't know his name, but I came across him on Instagram, and he'll talk about like stories with like how Black Lightning was created, how Power Man was created and stuff like that. Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, yeah,
That's perfect. Yeah, that's quite interesting because I never heard of that character until recently. But I definitely gotta look him up as soon as I get off of here. But yeah.
yeah. It's also I remember like I did like a project one time, and it was a black female cartoonist, and this was like maybe I think probably in the 40s as well, and she did this comic book about a girl and stuff, about a woman, a young woman. I forgot the name of it, but she did it for a while, and then she stopped doing it. She did she I think she actually did like a comic strip for a newspaper, and for some reason she stopped doing it. Yeah, but they like during, I think during like last century and stuff like that, they were like black cartoonists, but they didn't really was known like that, and
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah, definitely.
so
Because back, yeah, because during back the 1930s and 40s, there was definitely a lot of black artists that could draw very, very good, but their name just wasn't really known
right,
around. Yeah, definitely.
right. It's mostly you would see Superman or
Hmm.
Batman or
Yeah.
something like that, or
Hmm.
some other white kind of creator that did it and stuff. So
Right, and even this very day, a lot of people don't even know who Dwayne McDuffie is. And you know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah, he was very good at what I'm saying, creating the Green Lantern and Justice League and stuff like that. Yeah, yeah, very talented.
Dwayne McDuffie.
Yeah, Dwayne McDuffie. Yeah, he was the guy that he was a very popular black creator for he used to work for DC Comics, and he created the
Oh, okay.
you should look him up after this. He created, I believe, he did a wait a minute, he actually written a show about the Justice League, Green Lantern, Hal Jordan. He did a whole lot of stuff during
The
that time.
animated series.
Yeah, the animated series, but he passed away
Oh,
around
okay.
2000. I think it was 2010 or 11. It was, but yeah, yeah, yeah. But a lot of people don't know who he was because I don't want to talk about it, but you probably know because
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
It's
very popular
interesting.
black brother. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. I was so like with like the so what how further you gonna take this? Like, if I could ask you this question.
Oh, well, we do have a very long term vision for this because we do want to turn this into a huge, big, massive universe. You know what I'm saying? And eventually, we do want to turn this into a TV show if we get lucky enough. You know what I'm saying? Turn it into a book series, turn it into a TV show, do a few animations, um,
Yeah,
and maybe a video game if we get lucky. If we get lucky.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
stuff like that. Because I do want to turn this into something really big. That's what I'm saying. And I do got some help along the way, so it takes a long time. But first of all, I just want to turn this into a manga series. Which he's
Right.
working on because this series gonna be a manga to a form of a Japanese manga series, placed on bookshelves, and work from there.
Black people, we love manga for some reason.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, but I think the way but we do have like a twist to it though. It's not like directly like imitating them, but we have,
Yeah.
it's a little twist to it from what I've seen from other artists and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So
Cause because most Japanese manga is pretty much in black and white, which is a good art style to do so. But we do want to do in the same style the Japanese do it, but we want to have ours colored because that's something they don't really do, and I think that'd be pretty cool too as well. So yeah, pretty much.
uh, so I mean, like, are you like into like African culture or like what's
Oh
your
yeah.
background?
Oh, my background. Well, I pretty much was born and raised here in Michigan, America. I pretty much went to
Okay.
high school, do stuff like that. I pretty much didn't assistant, you know what I'm saying? I pretty much do it full time, but on the side, I do a whole lot of this comic stuff, build my own company. But I didn't really gain a huge interest into African mythology and culture until I believe until I first entered high school. Because I always had a fascination, and the reason why I had a fascination for African culture was pretty much for African swords. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of you know what I'm saying, I was
Mm,
always interested into a lot of the swords that was made in Africa during that time period. So, ooh, this is a lot of cool stuff. So, like the Zulu, like the Zulu, and you know what I'm saying.
yeah,
Yeah, and I pretty much had a fascination for that. So I kind of like over time started studying a lot of this stuff that kind of like came from Africa, and yeah, and I pretty much gained a fascination for this stuff, and I started, oh my god, this stuff's so cool, and I just got into more African culture, since, and that's pretty much how I got into it. But I wouldn't have
yeah.
learned all this stuff. I decided not to, saying do a lot of research into Africa and stuff like that. Hmm.
That's fascinating. Like growing up, I remember Shaka Zulu. They had
Hmm.
like a mini series. It's like a long mini series. Like I forgot what, but it like let's put it this way. It came it had like it was like a 5-part mini series. Yeah, it was big at the time. This was like 1987, and people was like talking about it. As like his kids was talking about that in school. And he was a bad motherfucker too. Like he thing about him, but he was like oppressing his own people and stuff. He was more fascinated with like the white men's weapons and stuff like that. He wanted to know. I don't know if you know much about him, but he was he was like a militant. He was like a militant leader and stuff, and he was like an outcast. I think his father was like the king of the Zulus, and his mother wasn't. So they was like in different tribes and stuff. And so with that, he was like an outcast, and he was trying to regain his birthright to be king and stuff. And so when he was king, he started like taking over like certain parts of Africa and stuff, and th- trying to eliminate other tribes and stuff. And then like
Yeah.
the white people came, and they was helping him with the weapons and stuff, taking most of the tribes out, and slowly he started oppressing them, and like his brothers, like his half brothers, they killed him and
Hmm.
stuff. Yeah,
That's
so that's how the white man started kind of taking South Africa over
yeah.
because
Yeah.
with that from what I know about him, yeah, because they I don't know, they have like a book about, but I learned, like I've read little bits about him, and I seen the movie and stuff, so it's very interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
but he was like a leader, like I would say, like a Alexander the Great or Julius Caesar type. Like people feared him and stuff, and they killed him.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
so,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. It came out like it was like a 5-part mini series at the time. Like in the '80s, they would always show like mini series and stuff at like from books and stuff, and they turn into movies and yeah, TV movies and stuff.
Hmm.
So that's how it was. Yeah, I mean because I asked that question because I noticed like what's your thoughts about how like FB foundational Black Americans versus Africans, because that's always like the talk for some reason. Like the FBAs, I mean the FBAs, they feel like the Africans don't care about them, or really feel look down upon them and stuff. And so the Africans, they probably feel another way too. And it's kind of very
Yeah.
interesting.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty much a very interesting. It's pretty much a very interesting situation what's going on between us two. But you know what I'm saying. I love all black people. You know what I'm saying. I love my Africans, my African brother and sister. I love Black Americans. I love black people. You know what I'm saying, worldwide. And you know what I'm saying. I understand that. You know what I'm saying. A lot of the stuff is pretty much been done. You know what I'm saying, by the by the white man. I don't want, you know what I'm saying, by at the end of the day. So you know what I'm saying. I don't want to get into that too much, but you know what I'm saying. I just hope that
Right, right,
everybody can work it all out. You know what I'm saying?
right,
Yeah. Yeah. But
right.
hmm
Yeah, man. So I mean, yeah, I appreciate you, coming and giving your thoughts about Diva Soul Comics, man.
yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
if you want to talk
Thank you for having me
again,
on.
yeah,
Sure. Oh you
yeah,
definitely. Yeah,
no
we'll talk about
doubt.
this again. Yeah. No
Yeah.
problem, man.
And all the white people, it ain't nothing personal. I'm not attacking nobody. I'm just saying, certain things happen and
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
So
Oh trust
please,
me,
I don't
I
want
know.
nobody trying to just trying to say I'm hatred or nothing. It's just thoughts. But I got a friend, all the rage George Spades, just coming through and dropping a like. Thank you, George. I appreciate you always, man. Your interview was cool. With Lexa Still, with Lexa Stall. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Oh
He's
yeah.
into comic books too. He likes he's really into the Batman trilogies and stuff. What do you
Oh
have
yeah.
like a favorite comic book movie or anything like that?
Who me?
Yeah.
Oh, my favorite comic book. Hold up. Where's my comic? Well, I'm pretty much into Teen Titans. Pretty much. That's pretty much my
Oh
favorite.
yeah,
Yeah, my
that's
favorite.
the joint.
Oh yeah, my favorite was my superhero is pretty much Starfire. Pretty much.
Yeah,
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 yeah. I love Starfire. I really hope DC can do something about her because just I tell you she should be an A-star character by now, but I'm not sure what.
right.
But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of remind me a little bit about me with the fascination with superheroines and stuff a little bit.
Oh yeah,
Because
that.
I used to have I used to have a thing with Wonder Woman. And Wonder Woman, like,
Oh yeah.
but I kind of, yeah, I
Oh
always
yeah. I
fantasize.
like Wonder Woman. I used to like Wonder Woman. I always kind of had a fascination with Amazon warriors and stuff like that, and I kind of did like Wonder Woman,
Right,
but I kind of like what I'm saying how DC is doing her nowadays. You know what I'm saying? So, but I always has been more of a Starfire kind of person, like She Hulk,
right.
and I
But
love She-Hulk. She's in my top five still.
yeah, but Starfire got a solo series too, like in a comic book.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think I bought one. I bought an issue about her. Yeah, like one time, like a couple of years back, she had like a comic book series.
Mm-hmm.
All the
Yeah.
ways George Bay, Starfire is sexy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Who doesn't have a crush on Wonder Woman?
I still like
Yeah,
Wonder Woman a little bit, but just not as much as I used to.
yeah. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's funny because Wonder Woman. I was reading about Wonder Woman and the guy behind Wonder Woman. He had this thing where he was like a male feminist and stuff, and like he would go to like these kinky parties and stuff and do all this dominatrix type of stuff. Like
Mm-hmm.
he was into the kinky stuff, and so like he kind of like took like certain things from his wife, and he had like a mistress, and he combined Wonder Woman and yes. So they got a movie about it too, like Doctor Moss. I forgot his last name, but it's but you can check it out, like the creator of Wonder Woman and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Look it up.
he was a bigamist, way bigamist. What I don't know what he mean by bigamist. You know what he mean by that?
Not really, to be honest with you.
Okay, it's molten. Dr. Moulton, yeah, Dr. Moulton and the Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Yeah. Walter, I think Walter Moulton, Dr. Walter Moulton. Yeah, yeah, but he kind of had this thing where he wanted he was kind of he visioned that women would take over the world and stuff. And some of the stuff that he was kind of like predicting, came true in a way because the movement or the women feminist movement came about and all that stuff. So, oh,
Mm,
bigamist is someone with multiple wives. Yeah,
I,
I thought he had two. Yeah, from what I know, he had two. I didn't know he had multiple wives. So I take your word for it. I'll check it out. Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah, that'd be good. That's good.
Yeah,
'Cause I didn't know what I didn't know what
yeah,
that told me about it.
yeah. Yeah, but I mean, I appreciate you, stopping by, man. If anything with your stuff comes out, your issue come out, you're more happy to come and talk about it more.
Oh yeah, no problem. Oh yeah, definitely. We'll do this again eventually. Yep.
All right, no doubt. All
Okay.
right, thank you, always George Page. And thank you everybody for just taking a look at it, this interview, and hit the like button, support a brother. All right, see y'all. Check it later.
Okay. Bye everyone.